A new year, well, it is a new year now, and our music has evolved. We spent all the last year evolving it. I would just hope to say another batch of great, good songs, well played, well recorded. I'm real pleased with them. It's kind of like the way they are right now. It's like if you buy an old car, and it's been sitting out behind somebody's barn, and it's got owls living in it, and the tires are flat. And you buy it and you say, this is a great car, because you can see, what it's going to be like when you restore it, when it's all put together, all ready to go. And I'm pleased with what it's going to be, because I just, hearing it in practice, and hearing how it's going to evolve is good. Right now it's just like 2/5 complete. But I'm real pleased. I'm proud. I'm proud of it. If I wasn't, have to really seriously think about it, because you gotta be, so.
What point are you up to in the recording process?
Well, we've done all the drums, and then we did bass, and then we've done some keyboards. We will be shuttling between vocals, I believe, and guitar, so as not to burn one or the other out too much. And that should hopefully be completed in the next 3 weeks. This is, I don't know, 9th of January or something like that. So we're getting there. I recorded 17 songs, which was good, in 11 days, which is fairly quick. It's good, But we got, the thing is, again, is why we came here. For the old boards and the beautiful microphones, and the nice tones. So the drums sound really, really nice. Bass sounds really nice, as you heard. And not to waste too much time, but to also take enough time to get it right. So that's what's happening now.
What's your style of drumming like on this new record?
This is like me playing a bunch of new songs, trying to do stuff that's appropriate to the songs. Pretty much that. Just trying to really push myself to do, as best I can for the particular situation. It's no good to do something, that doesn't really fit, and it's maybe a cool thing, but it doesn't fit. Then it just makes everything stupid. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that lets the melody feed, and come up more in the forefront. And there's a lot of stuff that's real punchy and real aggressive. Again, with the studio, we were able to get, it's technologically, some people will record a drum in a room that sounds maybe like a bathroom or a locker room, where it goes with a big, ambience around it. We chose a little deader room, so where the drums kind of sound like bang, just right there. It's, a little bit different. So the punchier stuff is real punchy. And, but, as always, there's a lot of everything, There's not just one thing. There's a lot of stuff.
Can you talk about the way the other guys are sounding? Has their approach changed or their style changed?
I think changed. It's like people say, oh, is this record different, or this? Things are always changing. I mean, if you have any honesty to let it express, how things are with you, things will always change. And that's healthy, that's good. When you start kind of grabbing on and saying, well, this was great, I got to do this again, that's when things get a little bit weird, Roddy's got great melodies. He impresses me. He knocks my head off sometimes with these great melodies. Bill's playing bass, real nice, some great stuff, It's stuff I like to listen to. That's my criterion, If it excites me, if I think, wow, that's great, then again, like I said, I'm proud of it. I haven't really heard. Jim's a secretive guy. He's holed up in his shed, doing what he's doing, and we'll find out. But I'm, like I said, real pleased. If we weren't, we wouldn't, I don't think, be doing it right now, So.
Do you feel any pressure from the success of that last album, or are you just trying to put that behind you?
Well, it is behind us no matter what, but the only pressure I will ever feel is, again, just for me, to try to do well, to try to do something I think is good, you know. And I'm probably bad like that because I pressure the hell out of myself, because I want to continually, you know, evolve, step along. I'm pretty aware of that. Although I haven't had a haircut in 9 years, I like to keep things changing musically, because it would be so easy to get bored. And I think if you lose that, like, whatever it is, you know, spark is a corny way of putting it, but whatever it is, you know, if you lose that, man, what a drag. Be like working at McDonald's or something, you know. So, I don't even remember what the question was. I hope I answered it.
Yes, you did.
Oh, good.
You okay?
1 second for me, please.
Okay.
You can ask the question. It'll be just a second.
Okay. I'd like you to tell me about a few of the songs on the album. Describe them.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we go?
Just a second, please.
Okay. So, Mike, can you pick a few
Hi.
of the songs and describe them for me? Just
Well, like I said, there are 17 that I tracked. I hear tell that there may be 2 more without drums. We did, I don't know, a couple songs that sound like they maybe could have been on the last album. With, I'll leave it at that, because, you know, I mean, it's hard to describe. You know, the last album was a bunch of different stuff, and it was good. This album is a bunch of different stuff, and it's going to be good. So, some of the songs are very straightforward. Some of the songs are very kind of really like oppressive, kind of really heavy. Some of the songs are beautiful. Some of the songs are heavy and beautiful. It runs a gamut. I mean, the 3 songs we did on the tour of Brazil and Japan, and also at the Day in the Green with Metallica, one was fairly slow, but extremely, you know, like a steamroller. Just, bum you out. It would ruin your day. The other song was like a ballad, kind of. I think you heard the keyboardist playing a little bit of it. Pretty melody and all this. And it's like a monologue of a guy, you know. It's like a guy and talking about his life, which is real cool. The words are wild. The other one is more like a steamroller that we were doing. In fact, I think you might have heard Bill, before he got in a big fight, playing that. So there's, again, it's the same, but it's very different. You know, it's the same musicians, you know, but different songs. So that's about all I could say, really. I don't know.
okay. Just so I know when I cut this, what keyboard part are you referring to? The first one that he was doing, or the second one that we got?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I only heard one. Oh, what do you mean, on the piano?
Yeah.
That was...
No, on the keyboard.
No, it was on the piano I was talking about.
Oh, on
the one he
piano.
walked in.
Okay. The
Somebody said...
Western thing?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Somebody said it sounded like Tom Waits, but...
Okay, cool. Because then when
That's
I
what I was
cut
talking about,
this,
yeah.
I'll probably like use your bike.
It's too bad, though, that you don't have the Day in the Green footage, so you guys could get slick on us. Because we did that.
Right.
We did all 3 of those tunes at the Day in the Green.
I don't think they let us record it.
They did, I think, but somebody screwed it up, I heard. I heard the feed was really bad.
Serious?
It was a great show, too. It was wild.
I was there.
Yeah, it was wild.
That was very cool.
But, I don't know. Some of them are driving. I mean, sitting from the back, you know, sitting from the drums. Some of them are real driving. Well, actually, no, that's not true. They're all real driving, but they're all, I think, in interesting, different ways. And it was kind of a challenge to do different shit, you know, because I'm always doing a tom here, you know, a Bigfoot here. There's some interesting stuff. And, again, no matter what, it's going to be beautiful. There's some beautiful stuff, you know, and it comes from out, you know, it's coming from us. And this is when you talk about pressure, you know, this is the pressure to do something, you know, that you don't just say, yeah, well, I did that and I'm a terrific person and they're going to love it because of whatever. That's wrong, you know. That's not only is it dishonest, it's wrong. So there's a lot of good stuff.
Is there one song that any one person really shines on that you're like, wow, you can't believe it?
I think the bass lines are tremendous. the stuff that I hear him playing is like a huge advancement or a step forward or whatever, because it's sometimes he plays like real percussively, which is good in a rhythm section to be very rhythmic. But the stuff even now is extremely rhythmic and melodically real nice, real satisfying. So I would hope that everybody's playing, you know, their ass off. If they're not, why are they, you know, even bothering? But no, there's no real songs yet. We haven't done guitar yet, so there's no songs with wild solos over them or anything. But everybody has their moment, you know what I mean? I hope, you know, I hope. Everybody has their moment, and hopefully the moment, as far as the songs, you know, is of the duration, because that's why they're there. If they're not, they ought not to be playing. You know, so, and that's a corny answer, but everybody does well. We've taken hopefully enough time to make sure that everybody does something, you know, that fits, that's essential to the song, and does something for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll see.
Do you have any idea yet what you would want to be as the first video, first single?
I care not. I know not. We have 17 songs. We're not going to put them all on a record. You know, I mean, we've got a lot to choose from. We're going to say whatever turns out well, I hope. Whatever turns out best. Who knows? I don't know. And again, I don't really... That doesn't bother me, because whatever we do is going to be a song that we wrote. You know, or we played on, so... You know, we'll leave that to people that can make those, you know, assessments. I don't understand it. I don't really care.
Do you know yet when you're going to hit the road, and do you have any...
I care more about that.
Okay. What are the expectations for the upcoming tour?
We're going to tour a lot. We're going to go everywhere, hopefully a couple times. Play great shows. Have interesting lights. Not have a backdrop, because I don't think the guys want a backdrop. I don't know. As far as the tour, we did a lot of touring. I think we were lucky. Some might say we were cursed, but we did a lot of touring on the last record, and it was beautiful, because it made the band so much stronger. It made us figure out a lot about what we wanted to do, what did work and what kind of didn't work, you know. And that's what's reflected on the new batch of songs, you know, is new growth, you know. You've got old roots, but you have new growth. And if you don't... I don't know. I'd like to do a lot of touring. I'd like to play a lot, because that's more fun for me, the sweating, you know. The sweating and the strain, just the pushing, you know, the pushing is great. You know, it's like battle or whatever. It's great. So I dig that. I hope it starts soon, and I hope it goes long, and I hope it's good for everybody. How's that? That's my hopes for the tour.
These are just some miscellaneous questions for MTV News. What's the first song you learned to play, and why did you pick that song?
First song I learned to play, was that with somebody?
No.
On the drums?
Yeah.
The first song that I ever played was me and my friend Cliff. It's at Cliff's house. It's at his backyard, and he started playing and that was Gene Genie, David Bowie. And that was it. That was number one, first song. And why? I think he played it because it was easy, and it was simple, so I tried to play it too. That was it. First song.
Cool. Okay, this is about lyrics.
The first things I ever played, I should say something else that's nice, because I never met the gentleman, but someday I might. The first thing I ever played to was on the little pad set, you know, little stupid pads. They're good though. Roxy Music, Stranded. Paul Thompson, fantastic, wonderful, phenomenal drummer, plays in Concrete Blonde now, I heard, which killed me. I couldn't believe that. Great drummer. And I played to a lot of that record. That was the first record I ever played to. And it was a fine, beautiful, you know, wonderful grouping of wild songs and quiet, pretty songs and what have you. So, Paul Thompson. Well done.
Cool. Is there any song somebody else's song that you've had trouble figuring out the lyrics, that when you found out what they were, it was really funny?
I don't know. I saw that thing you guys did, though.
Yeah, they're gonna do another one. So.
That Janet Jackson, boy, that threw me. The Jane's Addiction, I listened to that record a lot, so I think I had that one pretty good. The Nirvana, I don't know. I have their last record. I don't have this one, so. I don't know. Honestly, again, I'm the wrong guy to ask for this because most of the stuff I listen to really, a lot of it doesn't have lyrics. Some of the older stuff, and the stuff that does is like, well, two examples. One guy is Louis Jordan, who, I don't know if you guys know about him. He's beautiful. Sung in the 30s, 40s, 50s. He's a band leader, sung like jump music, kind of jump, you know. Joe Jackson did a whole record of stuff like that, jump and jive. It's very easy to understand because he's actually trying to convey, you know. It's a guy in a big band. It's not hard to understand what he's saying. The other stuff, I don't know. I'm usually pretty good at figuring out lyrics. Yeah, I have an ear for that, I think. And I can usually remember, especially if I hate the song, then I can remember, and it tortures me. You know, you just remember these songs and you're like, get it away. I usually don't have too much problem with lyrics. But again, honestly, they're not that important to me. Lyrics are really not that important. The first thing I always zero in on, no matter what, even if it's the greatest guitar player in the world, the first thing I usually zero on is bass and drums. That's just the way it is.
Is there any Faith No More song that someone came up to you and said, oh, like misinterpreted a lyric? That was
Oh, I think all the time. But that gets back to intent. And it's like, somebody can say something and they know what they're saying, but they have no idea like what they're really trying to say. And that, man, that's like philosophy. That's like the toilet philosophy. And people, there's a whole, you know, I don't know what. There's a whole bureaucracy of people that just get their living and their life's satisfaction for trying to figure out what other people said, you know. I don't buy it. You know what I mean by that, though? I mean, and books too, and the criticisms, and you know, the analyzations, and it's anal eyes. I don't like it. What if somebody just means what he's saying, the sky is pink, but they're thinking, oh well, it must mean it's metaphorically the blood dripping out of God's eye is tie-dyeing the universe or some crap. He just maybe means the sky's pink. He just thought, wow, hey. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't really care too much for the vocals of it. So sorry.
What can you tell me about the...
I don't have them in my monitors. I should have just left it at that.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't.
What can you tell me about Patton's lyrics for the new songs?
I think he's trying to do something, how do you say it? See, this is just my take, whatever. It seems like he's really actually trying very earnestly, making an effort to actually really be creative, stretch his brain, come up with a different approach, you know, not walk over the same carpet, you know, man, all the fibers are long gone. Everybody does a certain shtick, a certain deal. And, yeah, I respect him for that. I think it would be a drag, though, if there's some good things that he does that maybe have become old to have to give up. You know, it's not good to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But I would say what he's doing seems to me genuine, because of genuine motivation, because of liking the songs, because of feeling, I don't know, you talk to him. You know, it seems like he's got, seems like he's moving forward and trying to do something and challenge himself. You know, that's all I could ask from anybody. You know, what happens after it leaves the studio or the mastering studio, that's another deal. But to have something, you know, that you're going to want to stand on, and that's great.
Since you finished doing your drum tracks, what do you do when you hang up?
I showed you the crossword puzzle. I come in usually and just listen, see what's going on. I'm interested, you know. It's like the car, you know. Again, back the car's getting painted and a couple bolts are put on it. I want to check it out, you know. Today I went and bought some records in Berkeley. Bought some Tony Williams Lifetime records. Beautiful records. Beautiful drummer. Again, see? No lyrics. Sorry. I don't know, I could wash my car, I guess. I've been looking at baseball cards. I've been exercising stuff, you know, all the crap that you don't do when you're on tour. Just kind of hanging around, talking to friends, going to eat nice food somewhere at some place or other, you know. I got to get my teeth filled. It's a drag.
Do you see the songs changing as
Baseball cards, sometimes. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Do you see the songs changing as they're being recorded?
Well, not for me really, right now. There will be probably different, I don't know what the word is, subtleties, you know. But that happens a little later. That happens when you start really, the music's kind of almost done. Maybe there's a little extra guitar here, or a little different keyboard melody here. But especially with vocals and backgrounds and melodies. Again, what I was saying before is he seems to be very driven to do something that is not typical. And in that respect, things are gonna kind of come down to the point, you know, when it's going to go down as final, and that's what it's going to be. So that's going to determine, you know, a lot of the character of some of the songs. And that's why I say before about some of the songs, they have strong grooves, you know, they have good changes, they have nice melody. But, you know, really, once the final waxy coat, you know, is put on, you know, and you get it all dry and buffed, that's really going to tell. So I would say, yeah, there is a chance, there is a good likelihood that things will evolve quite a bit. And again, that's hopefully taking enough time to get it right. You know, Matt Wallace, the bald guy, it's his birthday, is giving us enough time, especially with the guitar and the vocals, to let him try stuff and really see what works. You know, a lot of people will rush you, and a lot of people will allow themselves to be pressured to get it out by that time or this time, to fit in, you know, between, you know, the Motley Crue and the Barbra Streisand and the Hammer Video and you know, the companies will try to really put you on a schedule. And that can be good sometimes because you can keep a regular schedule, but sometimes it's bad too because you kind of lose out, you know, at the one chance to get in there and see what the song is going to do, see what you can do with it. So we're going to take our time, do it right. Another long answer.
Why did you choose
We
Madigan?
change tape here.
Oh, okay.
Long answer, sorry. It's like coiled. I was checking it out, man. You don't see that every day. Unless you're like floating in the bay, then you see that kind of stuff. But it was great. So that, I don't know if you want to have that on this guy. It was a guy. I mean, it was not a cow or a horse or a pig or a dog. I mean, it was a human. That's what my point was. It was definitely left by a gentleman. Big old giant brown turd. It was great. So I didn't think you'd want that on your tape.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes. Well, you might have one by your car. You never know if you
Yeah,
parked
we'll
out
have
in the
to
back.
So I wanted to ask you, why did you guys choose Madigan?
Well, I think, again, from my take on things, I think that we really chose Matt because I don't think we've gotten it exactly all to the way that we could get it for this approach. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that everything sounds as good as it could be, or as far as the last go around. We got close, but it's, you know, not quite when you can say just great, you know, whatever. Tone-wise, I know. And that also, again, comes back into changing studios. A little sharper sound. To me, it's a little bit more aggressive. Very warm, meaning things sound very real, especially drums. Again, I can talk about drums. I've spent the last...
Careful there, yeah.
I can talk about drums because I spent the last couple of years with my tech, you know, really trying to get the sound that I want. And we have. So that's, again, why with Matt because I think that we can get a little bit better than we did last time. And the studio, again, a change. We've recorded at the last studio quite a bit. There were certain things that I started realizing about the room that were, to me, detrimental. Talking again about the sound that surrounds the sound, the ambience of a sound. I wanted something that was a little bit sharper, a little bit more up front. So.
Was that it?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's the stop tape.
Bye-bye.
Stop.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome.